And we're coming to you today from the job site of Stonehaven Apartments. This is one of the assets in Black Swan Real Estate Fund 4 that's currently open for funding. And I just want to walk you through the timeline of one of these projects and how we're able to create so much value with the way we create kind of a win-win deal for everyone that's involved. It can take typically about 2 years to put together a project like this. It's an extraordinarily grueling, painstaking, and frankly slow process. And we were able to set up a win-win deal for everyone involved because we got this land under contract with some landowners that we had a phenomenal relationship with. We got that land under contract like a year and a half ago. And basically we went to them and said, hey, we're gonna try to make your land more valuable. Would you like that? And they said, absolutely. So we put that land under contract with a modest amount of earnest money, and then we went to the municipality and said, this is zoned as some commercial land right now. It's been undeveloped for a decade. It's frankly kind of a blight, kind of a burden to your municipality. Would you consider rezoning this to multifamily zoning? There's a next door neighbor right here, Bear Path Apartments, that's a multifamily building. We just finished Stonehaven Townhomes. Actually, just a few weeks ago, this wrapped up. City Council is voting on closing out our infrastructure entitlements and everything. And we went to that city and said, hey, would you consider rezoning this? That can be a months-long process. Then we went to the city, asked them for some variances, for some tax incentives. We're going to get a rebate of 90% of the property tax that we pay in for the next 7 years. It's a can't-lose deal for the city because this is frankly burdensome infrastructure that has a cost that they would have gotten zero tax dollars for anyway. So they're elated that there's going to be a Class A luxury building here that's paying in massive amounts of tax revenue approximately 8 years from now. And that whole process can take an extraordinary amount of time. While we're doing that, we're working with engineers and architects to put together civil plans, architectural plans, structural plans, working with the city engineering office, working with the city planning office, the development office, working with plumbing, electrical, HVAC contractors to put together their schematic plans, and that whole process takes an extraordinary amount of time. So during that time period, Elaine and I were kind of shouldering that expense. You have to pay for all these professionals. You have to pay for consultants to put all these plans together. It's not extremely expensive. We probably spent no more than $100,000 on those pursuit costs during that lengthy period of time. And then we launched Fund 4 the day we closed on Stonehaven Apartments. And from the day we launched the fund and the day we closed on that construction loan and broke ground to the day that this project will complete will be less than a year, probably about 10 months. So instead of spending 2 years, we're gonna go from 2 years to 10 months to finish this project. The as complete appraisal on this project is $11.5 million. Our total development cost is about $9.5 million. So we're gonna be able to create $2 million of value for the investors in that fund in an extraordinarily short period of time. And we only had to put $2 million down on the initial construction loan as well. So we're literally going to double our money in a 10-month period for the investors in Fund 4. And we did that by creating insane value for everyone involved. For the landowner, they were sitting on some land that was frankly somewhat valueless. They'd been trying to sell it, paying taxes on it, having to pay to maintain it, and we brought them a can't-lose deal of, hey, would you mind if we had this under contract for a year, and we're going to try to make your land more valuable. If we succeed in making it valuable, then you're going to get your asking price for this land that you've not been able to get in the last decade. We created massive value for the municipality because they're going from somewhat blighted land that is kind of a missing tooth in this beautiful development area otherwise, to a new Class A apartment building that in the not so distant future is going to create huge tax revenue, tax basis for the municipality. And even working with the neighbors, we're standing on this 40-foot tall pile of dirt right now. Our engineer originally wanted us to put in a retaining wall here. It would have cost $100,000 for us to put that in. Then there would have been this kind of maintenance and liability nightmare. So instead we just went to all of our neighbors and said, hey, would you mind if we did some free grading for you? We can take out whatever trees you don't like. We can plant whatever grass seed you pick out. And we're going to create this beautiful kind of rolling grade going into our neighbors' parcels that ultimately eliminates the need for that retaining wall and costs us less than $10,000 to push this dirt around and do some landscaping work versus $100,000 to build a retaining wall. So just some of the ways we've created massive value for everyone involved in this particular project, and how we've been able to compress that timeline to an extraordinarily short period of time and have, you know, very, very little risk for the investors in Fund 4, because we had done all that hard work on the front of the project before the project was ever brought into Fund 4. Love being at the job site, love seeing, I mean, there's 20, 30 guys swinging hammers, you know, excavators driving around, dump trucks picking up waste concrete. It's like being a kid in a candy store or something like that. I love being out here on the job site, and I love thinking about the ways we're creating massive value for everyone involved in this project.